hits, even a tubular iHeartRadio by me, Martha Quinn. Open the free iHeartRadio app for iHeartRadio's Totally 80s Week. iHeartRadio.
Tonight, Michael Brown joins me here.
He's the former FEMA director.
Talk show host Michael Brown.
Brownie. Now.
Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job.
It's a heck of a show with Michael Brown.
You're on the radio.
On KOA News Radio.
Okay, let's get started. We're late already. A couple of housekeeping things that I want to go through real quickly. If you would like to time shift, I was walking Greta this afternoon, and a neighbor in the neighborhood. I was walking in the neighborhood, and one of my neighbors said that he misses me on the old drive time, but he has since learned to time shift the program, and he does it by listening to the podcast. And there's a whole host of reasons to listen to the radio show, to listen to this program in particular on the podcast. And I would encourage you to do that because, well, quite frankly, ratings on the podcast are as important to me as ratings on the actual terrestrial radio itself. And you get the added pleasure of getting to listen to the program when you want to. And I know some of you don't like podcasts, so let me just put it this way. Some of you have your favorite television program, but you don't always get to see it. So now with the advent of Comcast On Demand or any other cable company that has On Demand, it's no different than time shifting your favorite television program to listen to it or watch it at a time that is convenient for you. And if you've ever done that with a TV program, let me tell you something. It's just as easy, if not easier, to do it with a radio program. So if you were accustomed to listening to this program between 4 and 7 p.m. on that other station, and now that we're over here and you find that it's difficult to listen because, well, at 7 o'clock at night you're picking your toes or you're picking the lint out of your belly button or whatever you happen to be doing, this is why you can and why you should time shift or figure out that podcast is not it's not a dirty word. It's actually a very good word. I don't know how many, I've told you I don't listen to talk radio. I don't listen to talk radio, but I can tell you that I listen to a lot of podcasts because, well, there's a lot of different things that, for example, the Wall Street Journal, they have an opinion piece. They've got a tech briefing. My friend Dave Rubin has a podcast, which is just in essence an audio version of his YouTube account. I listen to Penn Jillette, who has kind of a weird podcast. I don't listen to it religiously, but occasionally. There are, I should say, several tech podcasts that I listen to. iOS, Mac Break Weekly. There's just a lot of different things. I'm scared to ask, but he's doing something else. I'm talking about Uncle Joe and Agent Judd A. And what he does is he time shifts this program by downloading the podcast and then listening to it the next morning. I use an app called Downcast, but you can use, if you're on Apple, if you're on Mac OS, iOS, they have a podcast app. There are a bazillion different podcast apps. And I would encourage you to find one, then search for Heck of a Show with Michael Brown and subscribe. And then you can listen to the program whenever you want to. And there's one more reason. You can also always watch us on Facebook, facebook.com/Michael D. Brown. And you can even watch that because that stays up. In fact, we're going to attempt tonight, based on recommendations from my web service company, Get Found Fast. You can find them at getfoundfast.com. You can, we're going to break it up into the separate hours so that you can just watch, the 2 segments for each hour on Facebook. So that's at facebook.com/Michael D. Brown. And then you can do the same thing on YouTube. You can watch the program on YouTube, and that resides every day. Now there are occasions when Angie and I get, well, I shouldn't say Angie and I, when Angie gets us kicked off YouTube because she plays a song that is copyrighted, even though we're playing from a BMI and ASCAP approved, paid for library. But even then when that happens, oftentimes I can still get that posted back up so you can watch the show on YouTube or listen to it on YouTube. There are so many different ways today to consume content that I feel I would be absolutely amiss if I didn't encourage you. And besides, I have an ulterior motive, and that is that I get a bonus. I get a bonus every year depending upon my digital numbers. So to me, while terrestrial radio is and always will be the foundation for what we do, there are just a dozen different ways to consume the content of this program. And based on a couple of emails today, based on a conversation with a neighbor, I thought it was worth taking the time, even though we're now almost halfway through this segment, of explaining that there are other ways to listen to the content, which you should, and then you can share with everybody. So iTunes, you can, for the podcast, you can go to iTunes, Heck of a Show, and you can just hit the subscribe button. It'll automatically download to whatever app you want them to download to. I would once again beg you, grovel, that if you use iTunes, that you give us a 5-star rating. And if you have the chance to give us a review on iTunes, you can subscribe on Spreaker. That's what you see on the Twitter feed every night. It's not Speaker, it's Spreaker with an R. Spreaker.com. And again, you search for Heck of a Show with Michael Brown, and you can subscribe, or you can actually live stream or listen. You can stream it, is what I'm trying to say. You can stream it off Spreaker, or you can download it to your phone or your tablet or your computer or whatever and listen to it whenever you want to. And we would, I can't speak for Angie because I know she just doesn't care, but as far as I know, she should care, and I do care. We'd like for you to figure out, if you can't listen at 7 p.m., there are a whole host of other ways. Or if you get frustrated by certain things, there are ways for you to avoid those things by using the podcast apps. And we would certainly encourage you to do so because it's Cook County. Then I hear that Fox Chicago, CBS Chicago, and I happen to follow a CBS news reporter out of Chicago, a CBS Chicago, a local affiliate. I happen to follow one of those guys on Twitter, and he tweeted out early this morning, even before Jussie Smollett, thought we'd heard at the end of him, right? Oh, no. He tweeted out that all the charges were going to be dropped. And I thought, well, why? Cook County prosecutors have decided to drop all of the disorderly charges against Jussie Smollett for allegedly staging a phony attack and claiming that he was the victim of a hate crime. Here's how TMZ, I know, but they were the first to report it. Jussie and his lawyers ran to court Tuesday morning in Chicago, where he was facing 16 felony counts of lying to the Popo in the alleged racial and homophobic attack. Jussie will surrender his $10,000 bond. Well, whoop-whoop-de-doo. We're told he has agreed to perform community service, but that's it. The case is over. A source close to Jussie says the prosecution's case disintegrated. As we reported, there were issues with the $3,500 check the two brothers received from Jussie. The police superintendent has said the money was payment for the fake attack, but it appears it may have been for physical training. Smollett, outside of court after the judges general granted the state's motion to drop the charges, has set off a flurry, and I do mean a flurry of reactions. And I think the first place to start is with Rahm Emanuel. Yes, Barack Obama's Rahm Emanuel. I think Rahm Emanuel and Barack Obama, or at least the Obama family, might be on opposite sides of this issue. You may or may not recall that when Jussie was under investigation, and there was a likelihood, and in fact it ended up going to a grand jury, And I know you can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. Hell's bells, you can even get a grand jury to indict a black man in Chicago. Yeah, that's just how easy it is. Michelle Obama's former chief of staff, or speechwriter, or some woman on Michelle Mybelle Obama's staff, apparently reached out to the state's attorney to see if she couldn't convince them to not prosecute. Rahm Emanuel, who happened to be Barack Hussein Obama's chief of staff, is livid.
I'd like to remind everybody, a grand jury indicted this individual based on only a piece of the evidence that the police had collected.
Actually, it's a very good point. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Rahm Emanuel, but nonetheless I am. When you go to a grand jury, the prosecutor gets to be very selective in what they present to a grand jury. And most of the time, in fact, I would say almost all of the time, the prosecutors never reveal all the evidence they have. They only reveal just enough evidence that they think is adequate to get a grand jury to return an indictment. So if they've got 5,000 pieces of evidence and they think 2 pieces of evidence are enough, that's all they'll present. That is all they will present. And they'll wait till discovery and the beginning of the criminal trial before presenting the rest of that evidence. It also preserves all of that evidence so that investigators and law enforcement can continue their investigations unabated without risk that anything that's presented to the grand jury, which I know is supposed to be secret, but isn't always kept secret, that any of that evidence leaks out and tips.
This $10,000 doesn't even come close to what the city spent.
The mayor is ticked off, rightfully so. Now, I don't know why they assigned 23, 24, whatever it was, detectives to one black man in Chicago. I think because he alleged that he was attacked by 2 Trump-loving, MAGA hat-wearing dudes. I think that's why they probably assigned 24 detectives. I don't know whether any black kids were shot in Chicago today or not, but I guarantee you sometime this month there will be, or has been, black kids, black men shot, murdered in Chicago. And I can, without looking, I can bet the ranch the PD wasn't assigned to this investigation.
In resources to actually look over the camera, gather all the data, gather all the information that actually brought the indictment by the grand jury on many, multiple different charges. Second is what I would call the ethical costs. And the ethical cost is you have, as a person who was in the House of Representatives when we tried to pass the Shepard legislation that dealt with hate crimes, putting them on the books, that President Obama then signed into law.
Ooh, that's a very good move. He talks about being in the U.S. Congress and sponsoring hate crime legislation that Obama actually signed. What a really slick way to say, hey, Mr. President, I'm looking at you.
To then use those very laws and the principles and values behind the Matthew Shepard hate crimes legislation to self-promote your career is a cost that comes to all the individuals, gay men and women who will come forward and one day say they were a victim of a hate crime who now will be doubted. People of faith, Muslim or any other religious faith, who will be a victim of hate crime. People that of all walks of life and backgrounds, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation. Now this casts a shadow of whether they're telling the truth, and he did this all in the name of self-promotion.
He did it all in the name of self-promotion. And while I still have a absolute principled stance against hate crimes, hate crime legislation, hate crime statutes, you don't need those. You beat up somebody. It doesn't make any difference whether you hated them or not. It doesn't make any difference whether you beat up somebody because they were a Jew, a gay, a black man, a white man, or anything else. You beat them up. That's what matters, is you beat them up. But Rahm's right on this point. Why should we believe the next time a gay black man in a Democrat-controlled, or for that matter anywhere, but in particular, a Democrat-controlled major American metropolitan area, steps forward and says a bunch of Trump-supporting haters beat me up, what's the first thing we're going to think about? Jussie Smollett. And is this just another hate crime hoax?
And he used the laws of the hate crime legislation that all of us collectively over years have put on the books to stand up to be the values that embody what we believe in. This is a whitewash of justice.
A whitewash of justice. Whoa. Those are kind of emotionally laden terms. A whitewash of justice. A black man has just had all charges dismissed. Cost the city of Chicago hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's paying $10,000. And no reasons given. No reason. Oh, stay tuned. The Chicago Police Commissioner, you thought he was mad when this case first came out? Stay tuned. You're listening to Michael Brown on KOA News Radio, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and always on the Michael Brown Show page at KOANewsRadio.com.
Tomorrow on Colorado's Morning News, summer-like weather continues before a big change at the end of the week. Charges dropped against a TV actor. We'll take a look at why and how putting away a few bucks a day will make your child rich beyond belief. Join us on KOA News Radio.
This is the story of Dick and Rick. Dick has been operating his lawn care business the same way for 15 years. Meanwhile, Rick has grown his plumbing business. Dick's still doing things the old-fashioned way, quoting clients, scheduling his crew, and invoicing using just pen and paper.
There's gotta be a better way. I can't keep track of anything.
Rick uses the powerful and simple-to-use software Jobber. Jobber is the backbone of my business. I manage my clients, schedule my crews, invoice jobs, and collect payments all from the app. Let's check in with Dick.
Uh-oh, I lost a few invoices again. And one of my crews just cut the wrong lawn.
I get paid on time, my business is growing, and Jobber integrates beautifully with QuickBooks Online, so I'm always in control of my business. Whether you operate a landscaping, HVAC, painting, cleaning, or any home service business, Jobber is the right fit for you. Join the tens of thousands of home service businesses who already trust Jobber by going to GetJobber.com to receive a free 14-day trial. That's GetJobber.com. Get Jobber today.
Sports Breakfast, April 9th at the Pepsi Center. You'll see local celebrities, and the Denver Area Council will be presenting a Lifetime Achievement Award to fellow 2019 Hall of Fame inductee Pat Bowlen. The Boy Scout Sports Breakfast, presented by U.S. Bank and Arrow, supports over 32,000 scouts in the Denver metro area. For sponsorship details or more info, go to KOANewsRadio.com/calendar.
And they lived happily ever after. Well, not exactly.
Do I look like I need to wait for my prince?
Disenchanted, the hilarious hit musical about what happens after the fairy tale ends. Think Bridesmaids for Disney Princesses. A fun night out, side-splitting and full of showstoppers. Disenchanted, now playing at BDT Stage at Boulder's Dinner Theater. For tickets, call 303-449-6000 or log on to
Creating the best socks in the history of feet? Sharing them. This is what we do. One pair purchased equals one pair donated to those in need. Our dream was always to donate 1 million pairs. We thought it would take 10 years. That's why Dave said, when we donate 1 million pairs of socks, I'll get a tattoo to celebrate. But then something happened. People
that if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and that's great advice for the stock market too. It's easy to get upset when the market falls, but what we have to remember is that this too shall pass. Now that's easy to say, but sometimes it can feel hard to do. So in times like these, when stock prices are swinging wildly one day to the next, making you worry that your financial future might be at risk, here's the advice you need. Don't feel that you have to go it alone. I invite you to talk with one of my experienced financial planners at Edelman Financial Engines. Let's take a look at your investments and see if they're doing what you need and expect. We'll either reassure you that you're doing what you should be doing, or we'll give you recommendations to help you get the peace of mind you need so you can, well, wait for the sun to shine once again. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
KOA News Radio time 7:30. Grand Auto. The Honda Civic, the absolute favorite among car thieves. Thieves stealing more than 45,000 Civics each year, slightly more than Honda Accords. The Nissan Altima, the most stolen new model. The report from drivingtests.org. The Cook County, Illinois State Attorney's Office says while it's dropped charges against actor Jussie Smollett, it's not exonerating him of allegedly staging a racist and homophobic attack.
Cook County First Assistant State's Attorney Joe Maggette says they believe Jussie Smollett did what he was charged with, and they stand behind the investigation and the facts revealed. But
our number one priority is combating violent crime and the drivers of violence, and we look to use our resources to do that. And I don't think that Mr. Smollett is a driver of violence, and nor was he someone who's a violent criminal.
All of the documents in the case have been sealed. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Chicago.
Our next update at 8 o'clock. David Kao, KOA News Radio, 850 AM and 94.1 FM.
Still a couple problem spots around the metro area. A new accident at eastbound I-70 at Colorado is tying up the eastbound side of the elevated portion, so be aware of delays through there. We did clear that accident southbound I-25 at 38th, back up to the I-70, so good news there. I-76 is back to normal, and C-470 is looking good night right now, and no problems off freeway. Up in the high country, of course, that rock slide had closed westbound I-70, but it has been removed, and everything's back to normal. CBS 4 weather. Tonight, clear, low of 42. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 75. Currently 64 degrees. This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. I'm Darren Copeland with KOA News Radio, Colorado's news, traffic, and weather station.
You know, if your business is not getting leads and traffic through your website, or you have a lousy rank in Google, I want you to call the digital marketing experts that I use to build my new website. Get Found Fast has been helping businesses develop internet strategies to generate leads for more than 12 years now. They do SEO, social media, reputation management, and they build awesome state-of-the-art websites like they've built for me. Let Get Found Fast do a free analysis of your website and your online presence. It takes less than 10 minutes, and it can be done by phone. Go to getfoundfast.com.
Yep, your meal just got even better. Thanks to McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
You haven't slept in who knows how long. You dread going to the mailbox, and your spouse just said the word divorce. When you owe back taxes to the state of the IRS, it affects your whole life. I've been in your shoes. I'm Jack McDonough, founder of Blackfin IRS Solutions. Years ago, when I owed the IRS tens of thousands of dollars, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I had a knot in my stomach 24/7. You're probably like a lot of taxpayers. You work hard every day at your job or small business. You may own your own home and have a few bucks in a retirement account. Don't let the IRS take it all away. Blackfin IRS Solutions will deal with the IRS and come up with a final resolution so you can get some sleep again. I can help you because I've been there.
If you're in Colorado, call the one company who has been in your shoes. Blackfin IRS Solutions. Online at blackfinirs.com. For your free in-person consultation, call 303-904-1450. 303-90.
Gun and rifle range. Handicapped accessible. If you're looking for a place to host corporate events or bachelor parties, Colorado Clays is perfect. Only 30 minutes from downtown Denver. No membership required. ColoradoClays.com.
Spring is in the air, which means patio season is right around the corner. And during the showroom's preseason patio sale, you'll find savings of 40% off our entire collection of outdoor furniture. Shop smart with special financing and discover the latest collections from Lane Venture, Castell, Homecrest, Tommy Bahama by Lexington, and much more. Start designing your perfect patio today and save big. The preseason patio sale only at the showroom. Denver's ultimate home shopping experience.
Springtime is the time to buy a new Polaris. Right now, the world's best-selling off-road lineup is priced to move. Get more done with a hardworking Ranger. Chase adventure on a legendary Sportsman. Or live wide open in a high-performance RZR. Rebates go as high as $1,500 during the Polaris Spring Sales Event. Offers valid in U.S. through 4/30/19, subject to credit approval. Rebates and financing vary by model and year. See dealer for details. Always wear a helmet, never drink and ride.
It's our one and only sale of the year, and it's going on right now. The anniversary sale at Williams Jewelers of Englewood.
We've marked down fine jewelry and timepieces all over the store.
Major markdowns and case after case up to 50% off.
Discounts on designer jewelry, Swiss watches, designer bridal, even diamonds, and our famous estate jewelry.
It's all on sale.
Imagine designer sterling and gold you never see marked down, up to 50% off.
Selected Swiss watches up to 40% off.
In designer bridal, we can't even say on the radio.
It's all on sale at our lowest price of the year.
If you're thinking about getting engaged, guys, have we got a deal for you.
The anniversary sale at Williams Jewelers of Englewood. Our one
and only
sale of the year.
At Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers in Englewood. From anywhere in Denver, we're in Englewood at Bellevue and Broadway. But hurry, it all ends Saturday, March 30th.
Ladies, have you been noticing symptoms like you can't lose weight, you have night sweats or hot flashes, you can't sleep, you have a low sex drive? You don't have to live this way. It's a new year, so make it a new you. I'm Susan Whitkin. Hormone Health and Weight Loss has a natural hormone therapy that can help with your symptoms. I know because it works for me. Get your life back. Call today at 720-443-4080 to schedule your free consultation or go online at hormonehealthtest.com. That's 720-443-4080. Feel better, live better. Call today.
Can't wait on hold? Text Michael at 56690. Now, back to Michael Brown on KOA News Radio.
Wake up in the morning, have a hearty breakfast, think about the nightmares that I didn't finish. New day, same problems, man, it never ends. Everybody wants a piece and they never settle. What I'm giving out, it always seems too little. Give me more is what they all say. You can't have all of me, my boss, my job, my family. You can't have all of me, I need a little for myself.
So a black gay actor living in Chicago pulls a hate hoax, gets indicted by a grand jury on 16 counts after the city of Chicago assigns 24 detectives to investigate the case, turns it over to the state's attorney after the indictment, and then all of a sudden, just boom, he swerves into court, pirouettes into court, and walks out, no charges, dismissed, I assume with prejudice, meaning that the charges cannot be refuted. Well, at this point, I'm thinking, I'm not really sure whether double jeopardy would attach or not. And he walks out, having just forfeited a $10,000 bond. Now let's just, for the fun of it, play a little whataboutism. I decide that I want to go to Reuben 4749, beat the snot out of him. But I don't actually do it. I just claim that he actually beat me. And I go to the cops and I concoct this elaborate story. One, do you think any police department in this country is going to assign 24 detectives to try to find out whether or not or who beat me up or why they beat me up? Of course not. If we really ever wondered about a two-tiered system of justice in this country, this is it. And the ironic thing about it, claiming that there's a two-tiered system of justice is that most people would think a two-tiered system of justice implies that poor black people suffer mightily at the hands of the criminal justice system. But it also means that wealthy, cool, Hollywood, gay black men get special consideration. The Chicago police superintendent, a black man himself, is really pissed off.
So listen, I'm sure we all know what occurred this morning. My personal opinion is that you all know where I stand on this. Do I think justice was served? No. Where do I think justice is? I think this city is still owed an apology. And let me digress for a moment. When I came on this job, I've been a cop now for about 31 years. When I came on this job, I came on with my honor, my integrity, and my reputation. If someone accused me of doing anything that would circumvent that, then I would want my day in court, period, to clear my name.
He raises a good point, although, and his point is essentially this: if someone had accused him, the superintendent, of doing something criminal, he would want his day in court to prove his innocence. Now, later on, I'm going to talk about there's a taxpayer relief shot out of New Orleans that doesn't go exactly the way that people think it should go. In fact, it doesn't go the way I think it should go. But in the context of this taxpayer relief shot we'll talk about at 10 o'clock, what causes me to kind of recoil from what the superintendent is saying is this. If I were accused of a crime, now granted this crime doesn't really, 16 counts, so he probably was going to do some jail time, particularly if he gets sentenced on all 16 counts and the sentences all have to run consecutively, then you might be facing some serious jail time. Plus, you're going to face some serious restitution. They're going to demand that you basically reimburse Chicago for all of the costs, direct and indirect, of that investigation. I always told clients, if you have the opportunity to settle something out of court, you should, because walking into a courtroom, whether a criminal matter or a civil matter, if a lawyer ever tells you, listen closely, if a lawyer ever tells you that your case is a slam dunk, fire that lawyer and run as far away as you can. There is not anything that is a slam dunk case in either criminal court or civil court. If you're facing, as you'll hear in this Louisiana case, life imprisonment for a first-degree murder charge, or alternatively, you can plead down to a manslaughter charge and maybe do 3 or 4 years in prison as opposed to taking the risk of serving life in prison, you might just, even though you think you're right, you believe you're right, do you really want to take a chance in front of a jury of your so-called peers that may send you to prison for the rest of your life? Or are you willing to take the 3 or 4 years? But in the case of Smollett, what the police commissioner, the superintendent, is pointing out is if you've been accused of a hate crime and you've been accused of all these unethical things and you've been accused of all of this, you would at least want your day in court. If you are so convinced of your innocence, this cop, this particular superintendent, is saying he would want his day in court to prove his innocence, to show that the state cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt his guilt. And I get that. And that's easy to say when you're not actually facing the fat lady singing. If the fat lady's not even in the same room, you aren't. It's easy to claim, well, yeah, I'm going to demand my day in court. But I get what the superintendent's saying.
I've heard that they wanted their day in court with TV cameras so America could know the truth. But no, they chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal to circumvent the judicial system. My job as a police officer is to investigate an incident, gather evidence, gather facts, and present them to the state's attorney. That's what we did. I stand behind the detective's investigation.
And he stands behind the investigation. The Chicago Police Department's union wants an investigation into the prosecutor's dismissal. Seems reasonable to me.
Chicago's police union is calling for a federal investigation into the Cook County State's Attorney's actions regarding Jussie Smollett. 3 days after Smollett claimed he was attacked, Kim Foxx asked Superintendent Eddie Johnson to turn the case over to the FBI. The request came after Foxx exchanged text messages and emails with relatives and a supporter of Smollett who said they were worried about leaks in the investigation. Foxx later recused herself from the case. The FOP wants federal investigators to determine whether Foxx broke the law.
And I think that's totally reasonable. He faces potential federal charges, too. So I don't know what kind of deal was brokered here. But it's Cook County. It's Chicago. I mean, let's just think of the elements. You got Cook County. You got Chicago. You've got a state's attorney's office. You have a gay man. You have a black man. You have a Hollywood actor. You have the allegation that it was Trump supporters. You have the allegation that it was a hate crime. And you have the allegation that it was white Trump supporters that attacked the gay black Hollywood actor. You have all of the elements of all sorts of civil rights issues. You have all of the elements, whether you like hate crimes or you think hate crimes are stupid like I do. You nonetheless have all of the elements of a hate crime under the existing statutes. And you would think that if there had been a hate crime committed, they'd be prosecuting the hell out of it. So something's really fishy. I don't know what it is. I have no clue what it is. What I do know, though, is the idea that there's a two-tiered system and that we're just going to back off because, well, we don't want to have to go down the path of actually showing Chicago's dirty underside. We won't do it. Rahm Emanuel continues.
Class representing all parts of this city. People from all walks of life and backgrounds and faiths who said they want to serve the city and serve the values of the city and help serve others in time and need. They are there to uphold the law, and they have their best training to do that. And I draw you in that contrast, people of all walks of life, as I said, graduates of our public schools, kids who grew up with parents who were police officers, veterans of the armed forces who have a life of service. They were there to not only uphold the law, but the values that imbue and inform those laws. And now you have an individual who took those laws, turned them inside out, upside down, for only one thing: himself. And that, in my view, is an insult and an offense to every one of us who collectively uphold those laws because they reflect who we are as a city, and because of the hate crime legislation that's federal, who we are as a country. Thank you.
And I hope the U.S. Attorney's Office does investigate, and I hope the U.S. Attorney's Office, if the investigation warrants, that they prosecute him. Smollett's attorney, Patricia Brown, told the press that the state made a motion to drop the charges against Jussie Smollett and to seal the record in this case. And she explained to the press, the gaggle that I told you about in the Cook County Courthouse, that the decision is, quote, not part of a deferred prosecution and that no deal exists. If that's to be taken at face value, that means the decision to drop the charges was solely within the purview of the state's attorney. Now, the state's attorney issued this statement. After reviewing all of the facts and circumstances of the case, including Mr. Smollett's volunteer service in the community and his agreement to forfeit his bond to the city of Chicago, we believe this outcome is a just disposition and appropriate resolution to this case. Now, nobody knows his community service. What, when you are charged with a crime, and part of your plea bargain, or even part of your sentence, is that you will serve, 100 hours of community service. They don't look and say, well, you've been an upstanding citizen of our community and you volunteered for the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, or for the YMCA, or you did this or that. Oh, no. They expect you that the community service that you will perform is service after your plea, not service before your plea. But one of the reporters following the case says, my Chicago Police Department tip says that State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office is dropping the charges against Jussie Smollett because, quote, he already did community service, but it's unclear when he actually did that community service. The community service, according to Smollett defense team, was done prior for something not related to this case, which just gets more confusing. Sources tell CBS 2 Chicago Police Superintendent Johnson says he had no heads up that this was going to happen. The Smollett family tweeted, our son and brother is an innocent man whose name and character has been unjustly smeared. He was the victim of an assault and then falsely blamed for his own attack. So they're still maintaining that he was actually assaulted. Some of you aren't old enough to remember this, but I guess part of Jussie Smollett's, or maybe, no, because he's already allegedly done his community service. Maybe he did his community service with the Reverend Jackson. The Reverend Jackson is from Chicago. Maybe he served as a bagman for Jussie, going out and collecting money here or there. Or maybe, just maybe, that what's really going on here is that he's committed these crimes. They proclaim his innocence, but that he was a victim. If he was a victim of an actual hate crime, is he out looking for the attackers? Is the Chicago Police Department, have they now opened another investigation trying to find, in the words of O.J. Simpson, the real killers, in this case, the real attackers? The reason Chicago is windy is because, it sits on the lake and you have those winds coming across the Great Lakes and it blows through the city. But thank goodness it does, because Chicago really stinks. Corruption, cases like this. Rahm Emanuel's out beating his chest because he's furious about what this has done or what it says about the city of Chicago. He has a right to be upset. But more importantly, if the family still claims that he was the victim of an attack, who are the attackers? Where's the ongoing police investigation? Somebody, and I'm not trying to do the Chicago reporters' jobs for them. As I was watching the live press conference, there was some young black lady that was a reporter for one of the Fox stations in in Chicago. And she was so excited because she got to ride the elevator with Jussie. And she couldn't stop telling us how Jussie just had a giant smile on his face and how excited he was to be back in the courthouse. And she was so excited to tell all of her viewers that she had rubbed elbows with Jussie. Do you think it ever crossed her mind, or any other reporter's minds, to ask the Chicago superintendent or Rahm Emanuel, do you still have an open investigation? Are you opening a new investigation? Are you trying to find the real attackers? Are you trying to find out what really happened here? Or is this just another hide it, sweep it under the rug? You're listening to Michael Brown on KOA News Radio, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and always on the Michael Brown Show page at KOANewsRadio.com.
She listens for what you want.
I'm ready.
You listen for what you need.
Colorado's news, traffic, and weather station.
Available on over 2,000 devices.
Just say, Alexa, play KOA on iHeartRadio.
KOA News Radio.
Right now, save big and transform your home with Champion's Home Makeover Sale. Save 40% on Champion windows. Every Champion custom-made window is backed by their exclusive limited lifetime warranty. If it breaks, they fix it for as long as you own your home. And they're factory direct, so there's no middleman and no markup. Hi, this is Dave Logan, and Champion is the only window company that I personally endorse. And right now, you can save 40% on windows and 35% on sunrooms and siding when you participate in the Champion Yes program. Plus, 12 months, no interest, no payments. But hurry, time is running out. Schedule your free in-home estimate today online at getchampion.com. 40% off new windows, 35% off new siding and new sunrooms. It's the Transform Your Home sale. Book your appointment online at getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com.
The Champion limited lifetime warranty applies to Comfort 365 windows as long as the original purchaser owns the home. Subject to qualifying credit approval, minimum purchase required. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Cannot be combined with other advertisers' offers. See store or website for details.
For me, aches and pains were an everyday struggle. Work, exercise, raising 3 kids under 12. The pain was real, but so was my schedule. That's when I found Zeal, the most trusted name in massage. Their app lets me get professional, on-demand massages in the comfort of my home. With Zeal, I went from aches and pains to wellness without the wait time. Download the Zeal app and use promo code RADIO25 for $25 off your first massage. Zeal, wellness on the way.
Hey, it's Susie Wargin with some big news from my friends at Renters Warehouse. They've acquired one of America's leading online real estate investment marketplaces and have now become the nation's leading real estate investment services company. What does this mean for you? It means Renters Warehouse is leveling the playing field. They have the network, knowledge, and technology to make you a rent estate mogul virtually overnight. It all starts by visiting renterswarehouse.com today. Renters Warehouse, list, rent. Hey, Renters Warehouse, list, rent, manage, all under one roof.
And they lived happily ever after. Well, not exactly.
Do I look like I need to wait for my prince?
Disenchanted, the hilarious hit musical about what happens after the fairy tale ends. Think Bridesmaids for Disney Princesses. A fun night out, side-splitting and full of showstoppers. Disenchanted, now playing at BDT Stage at Boulder's Dinner Theater. For tickets, call 303-449-6000 or log on to bdtstage.com and get ready for a wicked night out that's anything but grim.
This is Scott Hansen, and if you've been saving for retirement, check out our free online learning library. You'll learn about Social Security, retirement planning, and the 7 key decisions you need to make before you stop working. Just go to hansonmclain.com today.
What is the key to a life worth living? Dr. Michael Ziegler tells the story of perseverance despite persecution. This week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour can be heard right here on KOA News Radio every Sunday at 6 a.m. Disney on Ice presents Worlds of Enchantment, starring Lightning McQueen from Cars, Buzz Lightyear and the Toy Story Gang, Ariel and her Little Mermaid friends, and the magical journey of Anna, Elsa, and Olaf from Frozen. Playing at Denver Coliseum April 4th through the 7th.
KBCO HD3 Boulder. This is an iHeart radio station.
KOA News Radio, 850 AM and 94.1 FM. The 50,000-watt blowtorch of the Rocky Mountain West.
KOA News Radio time, 8 o'clock. Our top story, red flag bill votes down to the wire. First, though, traffic and weather together. Here's Darren Copeland.
Can't seem to break free around the metro area. Medical emergency southbound I-25 at Hampton. Not too much of a delay there, but watch for emergency personnel on scene. Cleared that accident eastbound I-70 at Colorado, and we are seeing improvement through the elevated portion, but we are now seeing slowing through the construction westbound I-70 approaching Havana. Boulder Turnpike and 225 are both running free right now, and no problems to report off freeway. I'm Darren Copeland with KOA News Radio, Colorado's news, traffic, and weather station.
Tonight we're looking at 42 degrees with clear skies, so tomorrow morning won't be as chilly. It should be pretty nice out there. Enjoy tomorrow because we're looking at 75 degrees with mostly sunny skies. It should be gorgeous around here. And again, I enjoy it because we are going to see some big changes come our way by the end of the week. Chance for some more rain and maybe even some snow. From CBS 4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Whitney on KOA News Radio, 850 AM and 94.1 FM.
63 degrees in Denver. Opponents of the so-called red flag bill have gotten a boost from a member of the other side. Democratic Senate President Leroy Garcia says he won't support the bill, which cuts Dems' edge to an 18-17 margin. The Pueblo chieftain reports Garcia says he believes in the bill's intent to prevent access to guns from people deemed dangerous to themselves or others, but he doesn't believe in the legislation being proposed. A Senate vote on that bill could come this week. With rumors about a possible recall effort, Governor Polis says he'll be undeterred from fulfilling promises he made during his campaign.
I totally get that while I did win with historic margins of 53%, 42% of the people in the state didn't vote for me. And of course, we're going to work every day to win as many of those people over as possible. But of course, I'm going to remain true to what I ran on and what I said I would do.
Polis says those include funding for full-day kindergarten, saving people money on health care, and transitioning Colorado to 100% renewable energy by the year 2040. Charges dropped and record expunged for actor Jussie Smollett. Prosecutors dismissing the charges Smollett lied to police about an alleged racial attack police believe he staged.
Now I'd like nothing more than to just get back to work and move on with my life.
Prosecutors say that after reviewing evidence and taking Smollett's community service into account and forfeiting his $10,000 bond payment, they believe dropping the charges is an appropriate resolution. However, Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says that does not mean Smollett is innocent.
They chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal to circumvent the judicial system.
Chicago's mayor says it was a whitewash of justice. Former Governor Hickenlooper has become the first candidate in the race for the Democratic presidential nomination to oppose new Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal.
In a commentary published in the Washington Post, Hickenlooper says the concept of a Green New Deal is something he supports, but he feels the current resolution sets unachievable goals while shunning the private sector. The governor says private sector innovations are needed to battle climate change. Jerry Bell, KOA News Radio.
In sports, NFL Hall of Famer Michael Irvin is being tested for throat cancer. The former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver posting on Instagram that he had a biopsy because he'd been having trouble speaking for several months. Irvin says he's terrified about the prognosis because his father died of throat cancer. And in college hoops, the NIT, Buffs winning last night over Norfolk State. They will travel to Austin, Texas tomorrow night to take on Texas for a bid to the NIT Final Four at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Our coverage tomorrow at 6:30. Next update here at 8:30. David Kale, KOA News Radio, 850 AM and 94.1 FM.
Attention, if you've gotten a letter from the IRS or state about back taxes, please listen. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, urging you to call Larson Tax Relief. In fact, don't wait for a letter. Call Larson Tax Relief with any back tax issues, because they'll eventually catch up to you. Write this number down, 844-LARSON-TAX. Whether you're behind 1 year or several years, owing $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 or more, call my friends Ron and Jack Larson and their team of experts at Larson Tax Relief. 844-LARSON-TAX. This team of experts knows exactly how to deal with the IRS and state. They can stop demand letters and collection calls, and they'll get you the best possible resolution while treating you with compassion and respect. 844-LARSON-TAX. Back taxes, failure to file, even audits. It's never too late, but the sooner you call, the better. 844-LARSON-TAX or LarsonTaxRelief.com.
Imperial Chinese is one of the top restaurants in Denver, serving high-quality food since 1985. They pride themselves on creating Mouth 2800.
Plumline Services is discounting high-efficiency furnace and AC packages. You save more than $2,000 on your carrier system, which includes utility company rebates. And if you do it before March 31st, you get an extra $300 from Excel Energy. Not to mention a full parts and labor warranty for 10 years. Call now while supplies last for this special promotion. 303-562-0439. 562-0439. PlumlineServices.com.
I'm Tom Shane. Before we even opened our doors for business, I decided that Shane Company would be the one jeweler in town who would commit to taking care of their customers' jewelry for life for free. The reason I was so comfortable and so confident offering a free lifetime warranty was because we designed the jewelry to last a lifetime. By having our own design team and the best jewelers, we set the highest standards for construction, quality, and craftsmanship. And today, we still have the best warranty in the business, which even includes the center stone. We'll clean and inspect your Shane Company jewelry at no charge as often as you wish. If something happens or looks like it might happen, we'll take care of it for free. Most jewelers hide behind the fine print in their warranties. At Shane Company, there is no fine print. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
It's Tuesday, March 26th. Here are the new podcasts today on the iHeartRadio app. Get your daily serving of smart with the latest episodes of Tech Stuff or the hit podcast Stuff to Blow Your Mind. Don't forget to check out the latest episodes from the Ron Burgundy podcast.
Your parking will be validated.
Or the Anna Faris is Unqualified podcast. These podcasts and thousands more are new and waiting for you today. Your music, your stations, your podcasts, all free.
Tonight, Michael Brown joins me here.
It's the former FEMA director.
Talk show host Michael Brown.
Brownie. Now.
Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job.
It's a heck of a show with Michael Brown.
You're on the radio.
On KOA News Radio.
I know this is going to sound like the grumpy old man telling the kids to get off my front yard. Hey, Angie, do you wear a watch?
I do.
Is it analog or digital?
It's analog. I haven't seen one in the building at all.
Well, the most plugged-in generation yet might think they're pretty cool compared to older generations, but it turns out they have at least one glaring weakness: clocks.
They can't read the time?
They can't read the time. Big hand, little hand, run-of-the-mill analog clocks, kids can't read them. According to the British newspaper The Telegraph, the collective teenage inability to read old-fashioned clocks has led schools in the United Kingdom to replace the analog clocks with digital ones so that during tests especially, kids know how much time they have left, because right now, they don't have a clue. Dumbasses.
That's so sad.
It is sad, because what are they going to do when the digital world dies a death from EMPs? Some people are going, what's an EMP? An electromagnetic pulse. Bzz. It's going to fry all the electronics. You don't think, if you haven't studied EMPs and how everything's going to, 1 second after, go read the book by Dr. Forscher. 1 second after. School officials blame the current, I'm serious about that. Read that book. Don't read, if you have to read like Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, Orwell's 1984, put those off. School officials blame the current generation's clock face illiteracy on an overabundance of digital representations of time. Their phones, tablets, laptops, even televisions. At first, that sounds like a terrible excuse, but to be fair to these kids, who among us olds can read a sundial? Well, I can. You know why? Because my grandparents had one in their backyard, and I was fascinated by it. Though the analog clock might not be the height of time-keeping technology, it hasn't exactly been rendered obsolete either. Are watches, for example, just overly elaborate jewelry to these kids now? Might as well skip the timepiece and just wear a bracelet with a little gear-driven diorama of a SpongeBob scene on it. The move to putting digital clocks on display in exam rooms exam rooms? I thought we were talking about schools. I didn't know we were talking about clinics or hospitals. I've never heard of an exam room. Okay, kids, it's time to take your tests, so everybody pack up and go to the exam room. What is it, like a... Is it some sort of padded cell somewhere that you take your test? The move to putting digital clocks on display in exam... See how I easily get distracted? I love words. I love language. Exam rooms. I think, with the exception of the bar exam, which was not taken in a bar, ha ha ha, every law school exam that I took was taken in the same class, in the same room that I took the class in. I don't ever remember throughout grade school, which you didn't change rooms, or junior high, they now call it middle school or something, I don't know what they call it, or high school, you took your exams. I was never like, okay, kids, time for the exams. We're going to frog march you down to the exam room, put your feet up in the stirrups, and we're going to do the examination. Nope, I don't remember that at all. These kids are trying to take real tests. Screw analog clocks. The kids can go learn that some other time. Education officials in England have said that the move to digital clocks was to reduce unnecessary extra stress in the test-taking environment. And then the story says, that's fair. No, it's not. Teach them how to read a clock. What do you think it cost to take down all of those? Remember those big clocks? The big clocks, they had the black round rim, the big black letters, and then you could sit there and you'd be just like, oh, just staring at the clock, and that minute hand would just be going around and around, and you'd just stare, and you'd think, oh, is 3 o'clock ever going to get here? What time was you get out at 3 o'clock? I don't know why I think that. What time did you go to school? Did you go to school like at dark 30?
I think I got there around 7, but class didn't start till like 7:30.
That's what I think. Like 7:30 is, I think, 7:40 or for some reason sticks in my mind.
Or 7:55, like odd times when the bell rang.
Yeah. Education officials in England have said the move to digital clocks was to reduce unnecessary extra stress in the test-taking environment. And then the reporter of this story, Mr. Fox, says, well, that's fair. I'd rather them know algebra and Shakespeare than how to tell if it's 2:17 p.m. on a gear-powered timekeeper. You know what? I disagree with that. Because there's going to come a time when, it's happened in this building. So I started, and I love watches. And I have I've got a half dozen watches in a case at home. But then I got this Apple Watch. And I didn't realize how dependent I was on it until I started doing all my exercise routines and keeping track of all of that. And then one night, one afternoon, I forget when it was, one of the program directors here in the building came. He was panicked. He was truly panicked. He was going around to everybody that he knew or had heard that might have an Apple Watch, and what do you think he was looking for? That's right, a charger. Oh, that's right. So Diane says that on the Facebooks, she says that also means they won't understand clockwise or counterclockwise when discussing how stuff works. That's right. And Danny's right. Where are you listening to us, Danny? Are you down in the BVI somewhere? Where are you? Are you down in Puerto Rico? Danny says, every teen angst movie depends on an analog clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tock, tick, tick, tock. I didn't read this till after I took the dogs to McDonald's this morning. Well, actually, one of the dogs isn't going with me to McDonald's anymore. She won't get in the car. I don't know what the deal is. Don't know whether she's gotten too fat to get up there or kind of like me. It's going, I need an elevator to get up in the car. But the old 14-month-old Leonberger. You want somebody told me walking Greta in the neighborhood today?
What?
So Pete stopped me. Pete's the neighbor down the street. And he was rubbing on Greta's head and rubbing her ears. And his neighbors were out in their driveway. And he leans over to me and he goes, "They're scared of your dog." And I said, "Are you serious? I mean, how do you know that?" "Because they know that I know you and they've asked about your dog. They're scared of your dog."
Of that dog?
Yes.
That's just so skittish.
That dog that comes in here and it's just like, "Okay, where am I? This freaks me out. Can I just have something to eat? Can I just have something to eat?"
The one where I hold my hand out and she runs away?
Yes, that one. But then I've told her about you, so that might account for that, because other people in the building she walks right up to and snuggles up to them. So I don't know, Angie. I'm just saying. If you think that McDonald's tasted like crap the last time you ate at it, that might be because your hands were covered in, well, actual crap, and then you got crap on your food, and then you ate that crap mixed with your McDonald's crap. Or you were just eating a McGriddle and a hash brown, and, well, that's crap too. A study in the United Kingdom. How come we never do studies in the United States? Angie, I know you're opposed to this. I'm sorry, you can just go ahead and leave it. I'll just pretend like you're there. What were you doing? You were going to get coffee, weren't you?
No.
Were you going to the restroom?
I was thinking about M&Ms.
Where are M&Ms?
At the vending machine.
There's not a vending machine on this floor.
You have to go to another floor.
Is there one on
run.
3? There's one on 3. I didn't realize there was a vending machine on 3.
There is a vending machine on 3.
So how come I always run down to the first floor?
Sometimes.
You know those M&Ms are going to be at least out of date by 4 years.
No, I've checked. The ones in the vending machines aren't that bad.
How do you check without buying?
I check after I buy.
Then what do you do? Well, I know what you would do. So they're out of date, you'd eat them anyway. And admit it, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
Of course you would. A study in the United Kingdom that tested 8 different McDonald's locations with touchscreens between London and Birmingham found that they were all covered in enough gut and fecal bacterial matter. You can leave, it's okay. In enough gut and fecal bacterial matter to put people in the hospital. Or as they like to say, put people in hospital. You ever notice on the British sitcoms and the British drama series, they're always going to hospital? They're not going to the hospital, they're going to hospital. But then they've got a boot, too. According to a microbiologist, Dr. Paul Matawelli, speaking of microbiologists, I think that's some sort of disease right there, Matawelli. I picked up some Matawelli at the McDonald's. These bacteria are the kind that cause a ton of infections in sick patients. Who uses, I know I say a ton a lot, like, oh, it's going to be a ton of this or a ton of that. But when you're talking about bacteria, what doctor says that these bacteria are the kind that cause a ton of infections? Seems a little unscientific to me. A ton of infections? That's where I'd like to say an S-load of bacteria. And obviously there's more than enough bacteria on these touchscreens to get even a healthy person sick. You know, the problem is we don't let kids play in dirt anymore. If we would actually let our kids play in dirt, or if we would quit using, the antibacterial soap and crap for this and for that and everything else, we might not be quite as, prone to getting sick because there's a booger on the console of the radio station. Have you ever woken up with a major hangover and at the same time discovered a Amazon package at your door and you pick it up? This happens to me all the time, but not for the reason that I'm about to explain, because Tamara orders stuff and she uses my account. And then I look at it and I'm like, what's this? I didn't order this. What is this? And I'm scared to open it because I figure somebody's sending me anthrax, so I don't open it up. According to Digital Trends, drunk shoppers spend on average $400 per year online shopping, running to Amazon to pick up that Kermit t-shirt. Does Angie have on a Kermit t-shirt tonight? Does she have on a frog t-shirt? That they've had their eye on, or that one-of-a-kind bacon and bourbon candle. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about this? So the number has gone up since last year's report of $30.4 billion. This year's survey has concluded that Americans reported spending more than $39 billion while drunk shopping. Drunk shopping, I swear. There's always something. UCLA students. If you were one of the parents that cheated to get your kid into USC or to UCLA, you might want to get your money back. UCLA students talk about climate change.
What are your thoughts on climate change?
I think climate change is real. That's the first and foremost thing that you need to establish, because there's a lot of contradiction upon that.
There's a lot of contradiction? I don't think there's any contradiction. I think everybody agrees that the climate changes. Actually, if you believe that the climate never changes or the climate doesn't change, I would say you're the nut job. Even though I think the people that think that mankind causes climate change are nut jobs, if you actually believe the climate never changes, you're nuts.
What are your thoughts on climate change?
I think climate change is real. That's the first and foremost thing that you need to establish, because there's a lot of contradiction upon that.
Well, I think she's a valley girl.
It's really like the big corporations using up like the most of the resources.
Oh, I think it's like the corporations using up most of the resources. Here, so let's just, I don't care. Let's pick a major corporation. Which one do you want to use? Microsoft? Apple? Tesla? General Motors? Ford? They're using up all the resources. It's their fault. I wonder if that little dimwit ever thought about when she said, it's the corporations eating up all of the major resources. I wonder how many electronics she had on her body at the time. I bet she had at least a laptop in her bag, if not, a tablet of some sort. I'd bet the ranch. In fact, I'd bet the undisclosed location. I don't care about the ranch. I care about the undisclosed location. I'd bet the undisclosed location that little dimwit had a smartphone in her purse or her bag or whatever it was. And she's out there bitching about, oh, the corporations they're using up all the resources. Mm-hmm. How'd you get to school today, sweetheart? How'd you take notes in class today, sweetheart? How'd you find that boyfriend on Tinder tonight, sweetheart? How about that?
I don't think we realize how we are.
It sucks because a lot of people aren't doing, like, our politicians, like, they're not doing enough to, like, actually, like, put, like not, like, stop it, but just, like...
I like, like, the politicians are just like, the politicians are like this, and the politicians are like that, and
It sucks because a lot of people aren't doing, like, our politicians, like, they're not doing enough to, like, actually, like, put, like, not, like, stop it, but just, like, keep it, like, prevent it from happening, Like, they're just, like...
It's...
All right. I'm going to do it one more time. The person closest without going over to the number of likes wins the ranch.
We are.
It sucks because a lot of people aren't doing, like, our politicians, like, they're not doing enough to, like, actually, like, put, like not, like, stop it, but just, like, keep it, like, prevent it from happening, Like, they're just, like...
It's...
How many? How many do you think? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't care either. Like, I just didn't, I never really, I listened to it earlier and I thought it was kind of funny, but then when you have it, it's one thing to listen to it on your laptop or on your computer at home. It's another thing when it's like blasting in your ear, like this, like that, like you're listening to the Michael Brown Show, like on 850 AM and like 94.1 FM and like always on the like Michael Brown Show page, like over at like KOA News Radio, like .com.
Tomorrow on Colorado's Morning News, summer-like weather continues before a big change at the end of the week. Charges dropped against a TV actor. We'll take a look at why, and how putting away a few bucks a day will make your child rich beyond belief. Join us on KOA News Radio.
Right now, save big and transform your home with Champion's Home Makeover Sale. Save 40% on Champion windows. Every Champion custom-made window is backed by their exclusive limited lifetime warranty. If it breaks, they fix it for as long as you own your home. And they're factory direct, so there's no middleman and no markup. Hi, this is Dave Logan, and Champion is the only window company that I personally endorse. And right now, you can save 40% on windows and 35% on sunrooms and siding when you participate in the Champion Yes program. Plus, 12 months, no interest, no payments. But hurry, time is running out. Schedule your free in-home estimate today online at getchampion.com. 40% off new windows, 35% off new siding and new sunrooms. It's the Transform Your Home sale. Book your appointment online at getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com. The Champion limited lifetime warranty applies to Comfort 365 windows as long as the original purchaser owns the home. Subject to qualifying credit approval, minimum purchase required. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Cannot be combined with other advertisers' offers. See store or website for details. Of Enchantment, starring Lightning McQueen from Cars, Buzz Lightyear and the Toy Story Gang, Ariel and her Little Mermaid friends, and the magical journey of Anna, Elsa, and Olaf from Frozen. Playing at Denver Coliseum April 4th through the 7th.
Pop quiz. If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would a traditional real estate agent charge in commission? If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of the cost. Rex uses game-changing technology to cut out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-REX-HOME. Remember, this is your home. Why give an insane amount of equity away to an agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry without skimping on service. You'll work with a licensed local expert with you every step of the way. Get the most out of your home. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-REX-HOME. DRE license 019761010. Minimum fee applies.
I've bought more guns at one place than any other place in my life, and that's at Gunsport in Boulder. You'll find Gunsport at 14th and Arapahoe in Boulder. Easy drive. Go up and visit the guys and tell them Michael Brown sent you. Gunsport at 14th and Arapahoe or online, gunsport.us.
Getting a tasty breakfast sandwich with a quality cup of coffee, that's a morning victory. Getting it served quick and at a great price, that's like a morning victory with a parade and a marching band. Get a sausage McMuffin for $1 and add any size hot drip coffee for just $1 more on McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. Hot and tasty, fast and easy. That's breakfast at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and I have a feeling that retirement is on your mind. You're wondering if you've saved enough or whether your money is in the right places. You're wondering when will you be able to retire or will you be able to stay retired? And is your money sufficient so you can live in comfort and financial security for the rest of your life? You're wondering all this, but you really don't have to just wonder. You can resolve all these questions in your effort to enjoy a retirement that's everything you want it to be. And we can help. At Edelman Financial Engines, our clients are predominantly concerned about retirement, your financial security for your spouse, for your aging parents, for your children. And we can help you just like we've helped thousands of folks just like you for more than 30 years. So call us at Edelman Financial Engines at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com. And don't wonder about your retirement because we're here to help you.
I'm 8:30. A Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX jet had to make an emergency landing in Florida.
Flight 8701 left Orlando International Airport shortly after 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when the crew reported engine problems. Air traffic controllers had to move planes waiting in the wings for 8701 to return.
We might have to change it back over to 35, right? Got a departure at Blue Engine.
No passengers were on board. This flight was headed for an airfield in Northern California where Southwest is parking their 737 MAX jets until approval is given to send them back in the air. Tony Marino, ABC News, Orlando, Florida.
The NFL is revamping its replay review system for next season. League owners have approved a rule that allows offensive and defensive pass interference calls and non-calls to be reviewed. That comes after a missed pass interference call in the NFC Championship game in New Orleans helped the Los Angeles Rams reach the Super Bowl. Next update at 9 o'clock, David Kao, KOA News Radio, 850 AM and 94.1 FM.
Trying to get back to normal around the metro area. We cleared that medical emergency southbound I-25 at Hampton, so I-25 in either direction is back to posted speeds across town. Had that accident eastbound I-70. It's a new one at Havana. It's causing some slight delays. And westbound I-70 across the elevated portion, the right lane is down for construction, so watch for slowing through those parts. That slowing on the elevated portion starts at Colorado. C-470, 6th Avenue, and 225 all looking good right now, and no problems to report off freeway. CBS 4 weather. Tonight, clear, low of 42. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 75, currently 61 degrees. I'm Darren Copeland with KOA News Radio, Colorado's news, traffic, and weather station.
You haven't slept in who knows how long. You dread going to the mailbox, and your spouse just said the word divorce. When you owe back taxes to the state of the IRS, it affects your whole life. I've been in your shoes. I'm Jack McDonough, founder of Blackfin IRS Solutions. Years ago, when I owed the IRS tens of thousands of dollars, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I had a knot in my stomach 24/7. You're probably like a lot of taxpayers. You work hard every day at your job or small business. You may own your own home and have a few bucks in a retirement account. Don't let the IRS take it all away. Blackfin IRS Solutions will deal with the IRS and come up with a final resolution so you can get some sleep again. I can help you because I've been there.
If you're in Colorado, call the one company who has been in your shoes. Blackfin IRS Solutions. Online at blackfinirs.com. For your free in-person consultation, call 303-904-1450. 303-904-1450. That's 303-904-1450.
Truck Month rolls on at Johnson Auto Plaza. Hi, it's Alan Roach. You know the Johnsons. They've been my car guys for almost 20 years now. First-time buyers becoming lifetime customers. It's not just a silly slogan. It's how it really is. Dick and Mary Lou Johnson are the owners of Johnson Auto Plaza, and they'll most likely be there the day you visit the dealership. Their secret to success is quite simple, really. It's all about the way they do business and how they treat their customers day in and day out. As you'd expect, repeat and referral business at Johnson's is off the charts. So here's your official referral. You need a truck? It's Ram Truck Month. With over 350 new Rams and 200 new Jeeps on the lot, all ready for your test drive. An impressive selection with generous Truck Month savings and incentives on everyone. Experience the Johnson way of doing business for yourself. Johnson Auto Plaza, a repeat and referral champion, north of E470 on Highway 85. JohnsonAutoplaza.com.
Ladies, have you been noticing symptoms like you can't lose weight, you have night sweats or hot flashes, you can't sleep, you have a low sex drive? You don't have to live this way. It's a new year, so make it a new you. I'm Susan Whitkin. Hormone Health and Weight Loss has a natural hormone therapy that can help with your symptoms. I know because it works for me. Get your life back. Call today at 720-443-4080 to schedule your free consultation or go online at hormonehealthtest.com. That's 720-443-4080. Feel better, live better. Call today.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. Get a licensed plumber or HVAC tech in your home for just $39. A safe, complete, and predictable way to find out what's wrong. Just $39. If you have them do any of the needed repairs, that diagnostic fee is waived. The best value in heating and air. Online at fixmyhome.com. That's fixmyhome.com.
When your house is in trouble, fix it 24/7. We'll be there on the double.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
To learn more about our programs and to donate, visit us online at carsforkids.com. Remember, that's Cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and real estate donations.
It's finally here, Woodley's biggest sale of the year on all their handcrafted Colorado-made furniture. Hi, it's Mandy. That's right, save 50% off retail on all Woodley brand furniture. But that's not all. Get special factory authorized pricing on all Flex Steel upholstery with savings of 45% or more. This is the sale you've been waiting for. Get the furniture you want today at Woodley's. Go to woodleys.com to find the store near you, but hurry, the factory direct sale ends Sunday, March 31st.
Connect with Michael Brown. Find him on social media through KOANewsRadio.com.
Well, I just met you a couple hours ago. My last night in town. Hey, wouldn't you know I'd get hooked on a girl with blue diamond eyes down here in Mexico. Oh, now you're walking up asking me to dance.
Back to UCLA. I want to finish this. So in fact, I need to finish this so I can transition. Yes, I'm going to transition. So you want to stay tuned for that. Those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to transition before your very eyes tonight. Oh, you'll love it.
What are your thoughts on climate change?
I think climate change is real. That's the first and foremost thing that you need to establish, because there's a lot of contradiction upon that.
It's really like the big corporations using up like the most of the resources.
Yeah. I don't think we realize how we are.
It sucks because a lot of people aren't doing, like, our politicians, like, they're not doing enough to, like, actually, like, put, like not, like, stop it, but just, like, keep it, like, prevent it from happening, you know? Like, they're just, like...
It's...
I want to choke that kid.
Really not being taken seriously.
Just put an end to it, you know, just try to, like, because, like...
Just put an end to it. I like that kid. Climate change? Yeah, we should just put an end to it. I think we should write our Congress critters and say, we want you to introduce legislation, not the Green New Deal or the New Green Deal, just a piece of legislation that says the United States Congress hereby puts an end to climate change. Then we can just take that little piece of paper. In fact, we could print it on the front and back. Just be like a one-pager front and back, right? Just 8.5 by 11, standard issue. Maybe recycled paper. And then we can just take that one sheet of paper, fly it around to Paris, fly it around to Beijing, fly it around to Moscow, fly it around everywhere, and just say, look what we did. We put an end to climate change, and we did it on one piece of paper.
Put an end to climate change.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Do you think going vegan helps the environment?
Definitely. Reducing your needs. You know, you have to master fasting before you can be vegan.
Fast?
Yeah. So fasting makes you feel light and happy or whatever. So you can't fast too much.
Yeah.
You can't fast too much. Angie.
Why you gotta yell, man?
I want you to fast until you can fast no more.
I've done it for 26 hours. That's the longest I've made it.
I'm only laughing because I'm not sure I could go 26 hours.
26 is a long time.
It is a long time. But have you ever thought about how stupid it is to say you can't fast too much? Isn't that called starving to death?
Yeah, I mean...
I just... I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I'm not trying to be arrogant, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm smarter than this kid, because after all, he's going to UCLA. But isn't, like, when you say you can't fast too much?
I don't think that's right.
Okay, I just needed like I have no clue what I'm trying to say.
Eventually, you're going to need something to snack on.
Well, I was just thinking I needed some sort of reassurance that I wasn't like...
That you weren't
misunderstanding.
crazy?
Yeah, I wasn't crazy.
I want to go that far,
and the fact that I'm asking you about... Yeah, never mind.
But before you become vegan...
You can't fast too much, you'll starve to death.
Debatable.
What do you think about some...
It's debatable. It's debatable. So let's find this kid. If that's your kid going to UCLA, man, you got a dumbass on your hand.
Someone like Al Gore talking about how the polar bears were going to be extinct at this point. There would be no snow on Mount Kilimanjaro, and those things are totally untrue. What do you think about that?
That
climate change was going to cause polar bears to be extinct, and Mount Kilimanjaro was going to have no snow on it, and the Earth was going to be over by this point, essentially. And that was in 2005, and now we're still here, and everything's pretty much the same.
True. That they're dying. That they're not going to be extinct.
Well, there are more polar bears now than when Al Gore said there would be.
In 2005.
Yeah. So polar bear conservation's actually been better.
Statistic. But.
Oh. But.
I disagree with that aspect.
You think AOC?
But I disagree with that aspect. What aspect?
These like Green New Deal, is that serious enough?
Yeah, I think the Green New Deal is a great thing.
It's a new deal they push forward. Ocasio-Cortez and some other people push forward to help save the environment. It's like a $93 trillion plan, but it's supposed to save the environment. How does that sound to you?
That sounds like a good thing. Like if it helps the environment, then like it would be a good thing.
Yeah, if it was $94 trillion, this kid would be like, nope. You know, at some point, you can never fast too much, but you can spend too much money. And look, $93 trillion, that's a totally reasonable amount. But at some point, you got to draw the line. And I'm all for the Green New Deal and $93 trillion. But $94 trillion, look, at that point, you're getting almost close to $100 trillion. And we got to stop. We just can't do this. Man. You know, I'm glad I don't have rugrats. I'm glad that my rugrats are grown. If my rugrats were this, I mean, isn't this when you take your... I can't say that. Okay, well, no, I can't.
She says that we have about 12 years left. What do you think about that estimate?
I'd say, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to anyway. If your kids are this dumb, isn't this where you just kind of like take them out in the forest and just kind of leave them and hope that they just kind of figure out how to survive on their own?
That's probably right.
What do you guys think about that? Is her estimation good?
I think we got one.
One?
I think we're already as it is.
Just everything's going to
Yeah. She also said that this is like our generation's World War II. What do you think about that?
I'd say that's pretty accurate.
What is one?
It is accurate. I mean, you know, and in fact, we're thinking about organizing a Normandy invasion of the snack bar. Yeah. We're thinking about getting some pontoon boats, and we're thinking about invading because we understand that USC, they got better snacks than we do at UCLA. And then we hear those people at the University of Colorado at Boulder, they got weed. Yeah. So we're going to do an invasion. We're going to cross those Rocky Mountains. Oh my gosh, it'll be just like D-Day.
One thing that you would say is a great way to stop climate change?
We would have to stop our production of anything that is producing excessive levels of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, stop our production of anything that is producing excessive amounts of plastics.
Of what? Plastics? What? Of what?
Plastics. I don't know if there's an easy way out of it right now.
I'd say
the Green New Deal. We're still below the $94 trillion level, only $93 trillion, so we're good to go.
Fast, meditate, maybe just
fast. We're going to go fasting. Yes. I say, Jeeves, shall we go fast? Yes, let's fast. We can't take Angie with us because Angie can't fast for more than 26 hours.
Just fast. That's all I really have to say. Just, you know, we need to get the upper echelons to focus in on the main problem at hand, you know?
Yeah. Who do you mean upper echelons? What do you mean?
Our government, our federal government, just world governments in general. We just need to step it up.
We need to step it up. We need to step it up, baby. Step it up. You know, pretty soon we're going to celebrate the 13th anniversary of Al Gore's movie, The Inconvenient Truth, which revealed the grave threat of global warming, which we've now changed to climate change. January 26, 2006, the Washington Post stated that Al Gore believes, quote, humanity may have, now remember this was January 26, 2006. Now, I'm not very good at math, but this is 2019. I think 19, let's see, that would be 13 years. I think 13 is greater than 10. Like I think, like maybe it may be. Like close, but I'm not sure. On January 26, 2006, the Washington Post stated that Al Gore, quote, believes that humanity may have only 10 years left to save the planet from turning into a total frying pan. Quote, Al Gore, quote, we can't wait. We have a planetary emergency. The future of human civilization is at stake. Global warming is the greatest challenge we've ever faced. Now, in an article highlighting his tireless service for humanity, the Washington Post labeled Al Gore the world's most renowned crusader on climate change. And I think that's, I'm not going to argue with that. Because I think use of the word crusader in the same sentence as the phrase climate change is spot on. You know, like the Crusades? Yeah, it was a religion. Yes, it's a religion. Now, President Obama, he picked up the crisis, telling world leaders that climate change, not Islamic terrorism or not unsustainable debt, government spending or anything like that, but that climate change is the number one issue facing us today. At the Global Paris Summit, he pushed the agenda with this urgency. The cost of his United Nations Global Warming Treaty came in at $12.1 trillion. You see, Obama was a piker. You get Ocasio-Cortez. She's at $93 trillion. Obama was just at $12 trillion. Al's efforts made him an environmental hero, but, well, ended up costing him his marriage. Today, Al's 70 years old. He alternates between two gorgeous, spacious homes, one in Nashville, one out in Malibu. I think it's Malibu, but I know it's California. And he's got a very youthful and wealthy girlfriend. See, that's the best of both worlds. If you're an old fart at 70, you want a young girlfriend, but you don't want a gold digger, so you get a young girlfriend that's wealthy in her own right, then she's not after your money. Al's no dummy. I mean, I know all of you think Al's a dummy, but Al's not a dummy. He hauls in $175,000 in speaking fees. He's tied to at least 14 green tech firms, sits on a bunch of boards. He's made nearly $200 million. Do you think he wishes he was now the former president of the United States of America? Because that would have been, he would have lost 4, maybe 8 years of making that kind of money. But let's go back to some of the early Earth Day predictions. The end of, this is 1970, by the way, 1970. The end of civilization in 30 years. Okay, well, we're 13 years below that. 100 to 200 million deaths due to starvation yearly for 10 years. Do you realize that hunger in the world is dropping like a rock? Oh, and there would be a new ice age by the year 2000. A January YouGov poll of 17 countries found that 91% of Americans, not 51%, not 49%, 91% of Americans are not concerned about global warming. Their number one concern? Global terrorism. A recent Fox News poll revealed that today only 3% are concerned about global warming. Patrick Moore, who was the legendary past president of Greenpeace that was then erased from the Greenpeace website, says there is no definitive scientific proof through real-world observation that carbon dioxide is responsible for any of the slight warming of the global climate, which has occurred during the past 300 years. He rejects the science is settled and that the debate is over. So here's Gore's predictions that have fallen flat. I want to back up, though. No, I'm not going to do that. This is one of those nights where I'm trying to exercise a little discretion. Because if I really said what I want to say about a few things tonight, well... 13 years after Al Gore's inconvenient truth, guilt, fear-producing predictions, let's examine just how accurate his science proved to be on his way to the bank. Number one, rising sea levels, inaccurate and misleading. Al was even discovered purchasing a beachfront mansion. But Al, are you lying to us or not? Increased tornadoes. They've been declining for decades. A new ice age in Europe. Well, it never happened. The South Sahara drying up. Well, that's completely untrue. Massive flooding in China and India. Didn't happen. Melting Arctic. False. 2015 represents the largest refreezing in years. Polar bear extinction. Well, they're actually increasing. Temperature increases due to CO2, no significant increase over the past 18 years. Hurricane Katrina, a foreshadow of the future. Well, for the past 10 years, no F3 hurricanes, longest drought ever. And that the Earth would be in a true planetary emergency within a decade unless drastic action was taken to reduce greenhouse gases. Never happened. But now we have a whole new set of nincompoops. Now we got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez telling us that, well, now she's, I feel badly about that, Angie. The trash guy, the custodian comes in here and he empties out the trash can and boom, I throw stuff right in it. Chick-fil-A's in the news again. Why don't people just leave Chick-fil-A alone? Seriously, what is it that... Reports show that Chick-fil-A gave nearly $1.6 million to an organization called the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Oh, my God. Ooh. Per their website, the cash donated funded sports camps and school programs for inner-city youth. How is this organization against the LGBTQ community? Well, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes does require camp leaders to sign a statement of faith. The 9-point contract included a sexual purity statement prohibiting heterosexual sex outside of marriage and prohibiting any homosexual acts overall. Now, in Chick-fil-A's defense, when the tax statements were released, was that the camp participants, unlike the camp leaders, were not required to sign the pledge. The company has donated $150,000 to the Salvation Army, a charity that had drawn attention for its long history of anti-LGBTQ rhetoric. When, back in 2012, the Salvation Army media relation director told a group of, quote, queer journalists that gay people deserve death. Of course, he was summarily dismissed, too. Chick-fil-A. I don't know why anybody... Do you... Go to a Chick-fil-A tomorrow. See when you walk up to the counter, if they ask you, after they ask you if you like fries with that, are you gay or straight? Are you, what's your pronoun? Because, you can tell by the pronoun. Oh, I got a story about the pronoun. We'll do the pronoun next. You're listening to Michael Brown on KOA News Radio, 850 AM, 94.1 FM, and always at the Michael Brown Show page at KOANewsRadio.com.
Finally, the pitch we've been waiting for. The first pitch of the season.
First pitch of the season.
Thursday afternoon in Miami. Coverage at 1:30 on KOA News Radio.
Renters Warehouse has big news. They've acquired one of America's leading online real estate investment marketplaces and are the nation's leading real estate investment services company. This means Renters Warehouse is now your one-stop shop to research, buy, lease, manage, and sell single-family rental properties. Whether you're looking at 20 properties or just one,